What's going on, guys? We're back for another episode of Tale of Three Dragons, our Pathfinder Gestalt first edition game. Thanks so much to Ross and Tiki for their support on Patreon. You guys know the drill. Odds is Onru, evens is Turask. For that in-character reflection, here's a d20. You did it! I'm so proud of you, Ross. You get to go first. The dice says 14.
Sweet. Normally, it kind of turned into a joke for a while there that it was always Onru first.
Yeah, it was. RNGesus had spoken.
Indeed.
But I have the decks. I have all the decks.
Yeah.
I'm always first.
Yeah, you are. You go fast. There's a lot of third party in play in this game.
Yeah.
Lots of Path of War, there's two people in the party.
Tiki has a lot of third party. I think the most third party I had was where I was signing for a while, but then I retrained. You know, that one free retrain we get once we start to figure out things. Alright. Here we go.
Ah,
God. What was that thing? It nearly kicked my jaw straight off by the great masters above. Ugh. That thing kicked farther than I thought it. What in the God's name was that? Well, as far as it stands, we still have the creature, we still have our lives, we still have the phoenix, we still have each other, we're still alive, and I don't think it hurt anyone else. Just us. A lot, which I can fix, but still, what in the God's name? Right. Now it's coming back to me. I saw that thing in one of those fever dreams I was having underneath the hobgoblin's poison the first time we encountered them. How many times are those blasted infernal creatures going to end up nearly killing me? Ugh. I'm not going to put a number on it because then that would only encourage whatever entity is watching us to beat it.
Oh, why, yes. Yes, it will. Wonderful. Thank you for that in-character reflection. You demand take that hero point. Onru, bring us home.
Yay.
As I quickly realized in OBS, you guys are in the wrong place, and I have to drag you somewhere else. But go ahead, Tiki. You have the floor.
Oh, I'm Onru. I'm really fast. I stab everyone. I slice and dice and slice and dice, and I use Tarask to solve all of my ethical problems.
Oh, okay, Onru, take your hero point. JK. Okay, we're ready.
I swear, if that blasted horse doesn't start listening and taking the rat folk squishy away when I'm dying, I'm going to eat it. That being said, oh, that giant stick bug. Oh, God. Oh, seriously. That hurt. Really, really, really bad. I don't think I've ever been as scared as I was during that fight on the surface. That was horrible. Why am I fighting giant stick bugs? Why did it only have one eye? Creepy. Also, where did Tarask go? Oh, he's over there.
Alrighty, take that hero point. And a quick caveat before we actually get down to business, so everyone who is new, Ross, can understand the rules. Yes, you can heal back to full, but to do so without having to roll to beat Onru's spell resistance, Onru must voluntarily lower it as a standard action, and she can't do that if she's unconscious. Just so the precedent is set now before she starts dying.
Excellent.
Spell resistance.
Oh, no, I had.
Big old blank. I'm
Yeah.
sure you did. I'm sure you let it down, but it's in combat. It's a standard action. Anyway, so I totally forgot during that combat. There's a Mirai Rixasha with its snake arms severed. On Hero's back, it has. You guys look back as you also suddenly hope or remember there was a thing there. It has altered itself to look like a small, emaciated Tien man. It has basic clothes, like a basic robe and cloak pulled up over itself. It kind of just leans into the horse as if to look like a person. But you guys are outside the city of Ramparasad. The locals, they come up to look at the body and they look at you, and you guys are a little far from Menkai, so stories of your prowess have traveled here, but it's a little... To continue the Jedi analogy, consider this like the Outer Rim. People are a little less sure of what you are, but they're sure that you've killed some kind of strange, one-eyed walking stick monster. It lays dead before you. What do?
Ow. You okay? I think that's about all I got for healing. Well, I got a few more I can tap into, but...
Save them for yourself. But next time I tell Hero to get you out of here, let me die.
And next time he doesn't listen to you, don't get on him, get on me.
When the rat folk
I have
is
said
strong
nothing
enough
to
to
the
carry
horse.
the drow noble.
Am I?
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. I guess I do have 13 strength.
I don't know, I've
Dude,
never-
the Drow Noble's only 90 pounds.
Yeah, you'd be
Carrier.
fine. You'll be encumbered by like this.
I mean, she's
have-
got about 40 pounds worth of stuff on her, but...
I can drag that. That's within my drag limits.
Yep. The city lies before you. Ramparasad doesn't have a wall, and you can hear the sounds of music from, like, just kind of erupting from the city in not necessarily your direction, but just all out. It's a very happy, jovial place. People are still looking at this thing. If you'd like to do anything with it, the body lies before you. Otherwise, we can forward.
I'm basically going to take my scythe and lay the thing open.
Okay. You are able
Scoop
to do
out the insides to make... I'm going to scoop out the insides just in case it can regenerate itself.
so. Okay.
Because it is a flaming scythe.
Accurate. Okay. You do so.
What are you
It seems to
planning on doing with this thing?
the fire, like the
I'm
fire
doing-
hits it and it cuts, but like it doesn't burn like you would expect if you did this to like a horse. It doesn't quite like through so much as this is just like you pushing through.
I'm just trying to make sure that if it decides it wants to regenerate and get back up and come after us, it takes a little longer to do.
Okay.
Should we perhaps find a way to bring it with us?
No, we've already got the snake-armed guy over there that's pretending to not be snake-armed.
Yeah, as she kind of points to him, I'm gonna look to the rest of the people. Are they giving us bad eyes for this guy?
Shock and awe. Basically, they like you guys just killed a gigantic walking stick, which definitely ran up. And for those of people who may be new to this, we have a bad habit in Three Dragons of charging the spellcaster with an enhanced like a times 3 or 4 at our range and just natural 20. So this thing definitely with the force of a train. Actually, one thing that is relevant. I forget it exists. Tiki, we gotta work together on it so we both remember. But you do have a permanent detect magic. You would have known this at the beginning, but I'll retcon it now as its body does begin to kind of fade into nothing. You pick up a latent magical aura. After 3 rounds, you can immediately identify haste. You of all people can immediately identify haste.
Yeah, I'm wearing it on my feet.
That you are.
So the haste is actually on the creature, or is it an item, or what?
Make a check. Well, no, don't make a check. It's definitely the creature has cast haste on it.
Looking to Trusk. The creature was altered magically before it was sent after us. It had haste on it. The same enchantment you put on my boots.
Of course it did. I'm just gonna kind of stomp over.
This walking stick's carapace is very tough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, while I'm cutting it apart, any larger sections like shield or chest plate size sections, I would cut off and keep.
Okay. Make a survival check or survival or knowledge nature to skin the thing.
Okay. I'm untrained in survival, but hey, I can try it.
I bet you can. RNGesus is kind.
Yeah, I don't have knowledge nature. Closest I got is knowledge martial.
Fair.
That's not it.
That's not. Okay, that is not good enough. Also, could you guys quickly, to reset the counter, if you could both roll me a d6. I quickly remember that's relevant.
D6?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 from
2
me.
from Tarask, and a 5
Aha.
from Honor. Nice, well done. Okay, duly noted. As you actually, matter of fact, with that really bad survival check, as you are able to to shear off some of its hide, but the creature does eventually fade into nothingness and disappear. Like as you're doing so, including its hide that is removed.
Okay. Well, it's like, summoned creature, I guess. Oh, I thank you very much for our healing. We should probably get to whatever counts as the monastery around here. Seeing as we were actually here to see people of higher rank.
The head of the School of Water.
Yeah, I was about to say, we are here to see the head of the School of Water. Remember, hopefully they will be able to heal us. They have a much greater chance than I do. At least
is it daytime?
Yeah, broad daylight.
All right, take one off that. I'm glancing around to try to see whoever the most well-dressed person is, so I can come and ask them where the School of Water would be.
That would be you guys, frankly. These guys look like just your average, local farmers.
Farron's gonna fly up and look around himself.
Okay.
That's a 33, because well, actually, that should be even higher because he gets a level. Sorry, I'm making his character sheet. Essentially, above 30.
It's real good. It's
35
real good,
easily.
and you're way high up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Remparasad it's real big. It's easily the biggest city you guys have seen in a long time, maybe even forever. It's about like 75,000 people. It's one of the biggest cities in the Dragon Empires. It's pretty obvious that the very big building kind of like... Remparasad is built in the foothills of a volcano. And like at the top, there's a much bigger building where I've called it an academy. I've called it basically like the magical school, where Remparasad is ruled by a group of sorcerers. Kijang's worship is very popular in this part of the world, and it's very Avatar-esque. We've got fire, we've got water, we've got metal, we've got wind and earth. Those 5 elements make up all the things, and they're like practice in the form of the arcane arts. Usually sorcery is practiced here. It's one of the biggest honors in all of the Dragon Empires to be trained at this place. They only take in... It's a very, very exclusive list. You have to pass a lot of tests. But it's obviously like the biggest building. Everything else is pretty much like a... there is a map on Fantasy Grounds. I believe I have shared it for you boys. It is named as the city is called Remparasad. Yeah, you guys can see it. The whole city is built on canals. Imagine a Far East Venice, essentially. People work here, but by and large, it's very like you're free to do whatever. The workday is short. There's a lot of magic, so people don't have a lot of needs that can't be met with like mage hand, prestidigitation, cantrip use. And so they have a lot of leisure time to cook, to practice the arts, to dance, to be themselves. But clearly it's that building at the very back.
I'll relay this up.
Please get on.
As Farron just kind of floats back down.
Awesome. Get on, Farron. I've had enough of this. We're going to proceed with haste.
Yes. Mount your Savanchi.
Yeah, I kind of look over to Farron. I can't fly on him.
You can fly on Farron?
Not Hero.
You told me to get on Farron.
I meant Hero. It's the horse. Get on the horse.
Yes, ma'am. Gets on the horse.
Okay. And you guys take off. It's like 10 minutes, and you're in Remparasad proper. The city is just alive with the arts, with music, the smells of food you've never eaten, the sounds of sounds you've never heard. Everything is built pretty immaculate. Bridges span the various rivers that cut through the Psyche rainforest and through the rest of like the southern parts of the Dragon Empires, all around. It's impressive. It's like had you showed up in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, but constantly. People see you. 1 in every 20 recognizes a monk of the Kumin-Jinja Monastery and bows reverently. Everyone else just kind of gets out of the way of the horse, or pretty much everyone identifies the young Ho that is traveling with you, and you guys get a lot of looks. The Rixasha continues to just sit quietly.
I'll kind of like look at him, seeing that he's being kind of quiet. He's not in any form of. I know we cut off like spirit arms or whatever, so make sure his snake arms to make sure he couldn't attack us. But like, he himself is not actively like dying or anything, is he?
No, the wound was cauterized.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I cauterized all the wounds. He's literally just a lump of flesh.
He is in fact the no-armed man.
And the no-legged man.
Yeah.
Upside, I now have us a person who has every single knowledge skill.
Yeah, super
prepared.
Good. Best.
Yep, have Farron set up. And
so you guys can certainly like the roads go up, and it's like as much as that volcano is always kind of in line of sight, so too is the it looks like a temple, and it's a fair analogy based on where you guys are from to call it also a temple, but that's not quite as accurate as to say like an academy, but both it's like a academy temple.
While we're running up there, I would be also using my. Anytime we're coming up to a curve, I'd close my eyes so that I get my blind sight and make sure that when we come around a curve, we don't bump into anybody.
So you guys, I'm hearing you want to book it directly in the direction of the monastery, in the direction of the academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we were dying in the jungle. I don't think we really need to stay with this poison that much longer.
That's fair. Okay. So you guys make it there. It's a wide berth is cut from a horse moving through with a phoenix on its back, and people who are obviously like of rank. Most people will get out of your way. Most people just want to mind their own business and eat the food and party the party. You make your way there, and there's a bit of
a drow with a burning weapon outrunning a horse.
Also relevant. There's a considerable line of people who are making their way into the academy. You guys arrive like 8th or 9th in line. These people that you're standing behind are clearly maybe not as important as you. That's a question of your own ego, isn't it? But like they're not just like commoners. These are very magical people in line to enter the university. Not like as first year students, but as like independent researchers, that kind of thing. You imagine, based on the fact that the detect magic pings hard from en route of several magical doohickeys and gears and things that these people are carrying.
Okay. Unless Tarask has something other he wants to do, I would actually set in line and enact the great European tradition of queuing.
Fun fact.
No, for the most part, I'm just kind of like and follow behind. Also, for the note, this is probably going to drive me crazy, and this is the worst time to finally go like, yep, Farron has this. Farron has scent.
He does. He is a kitty. He's one of the most powerful builders.
No. Sylvainchies don't normally get scent. He got scent as part of the figment.
Oh, he got it from an evolution. That's the one you chose.
Yeah, that's the one I chose, because he already has, without the skilled evolution, a plus 18? Plus 18 for perception, so I was like, okay.
Very nice. Okay, cool.
So you're getting a disembodied smell.
Yeah, that's awkward, isn't it? Okay, so as you guys make your way to the front of the line, Enru picks up. There's a man standing in front of a door that's about like Hero could fit in with a large creature on Hero's back, his poor back, but like there's room to spare over this door. It's very big, very, very ornate. Enru does pick up a transmutation aura, in addition to the several, as there's one man standing out front. The man is a what race haven't I used? He's a little smaller. It takes a little while for you guys to see him. His skin is purple and his nose is long and his hair is shadowy and it almost like waves. Not like it waves like against the wind, almost as if an otherworldly force picks it up. He's about 3 foot tall, and both of you would know a Wayang when you see it. He puts his hand, the people who come up kneel down to his height, and he puts his hand on their head. And then that's when the transmutation aura pings, and then it goes away, and he nods and, "You may enter the school." And so they do. You guys reach the front, and he looks at the pair of you. He seems a little more with it than everyone else, and immediately just, "It has been a long time since we've seen the Kumijinja Monastery visit our walls. How may we aid you, honorable ones?" He bows.
Looking to Taras to see if he wants to speak first or not.
I'll speak first. I'll say thank you. Unfortunately, we do not come with good tidings. We seek an audience with the headmaster of the School of Water. We have very urgent news to tell her about events occurring towards the forest of spirits that we request her help with.
You wish to see the headmistress of the School of Water. You wish to see Ardra. So be it.
Yes.
The monastery is in outstanding reputation. Simply a formality, if you would, and he reaches out in Taras' direction. Clearly, you possess a gift for the art, though I believe yours comes from study. You, Elfling, can you cast?
Only the natural abilities of my people. Cast Deeper Darkness and then let it go.
I see. We have no need. In your case, again, only a formality. He reaches in Taras' direction.
Some of my abilities do seem magical. I would make a flurry strike, or not a flurry strike, but a fading strike, which literally gives me teleport for a distance of my move speed.
He nods, continues to reach towards Taras in much the same way he's done to everyone else, just kind of like holds his hand out.
Yeah.
Taras will not resist.
Okay, so you would dismount the horse, and you don't need to bow because you're a small creature too. You're the same height as he is. He puts his hand on your forehead. A spell is targeting you. Do you resist?
No, knowing
okay, so
the situation.
His voice enters your mind, and just, what is your true name?
I'll respond with my true name.
Okay, you say it, and there's like a second of like a pregnant pause. Why are you lying to me?
I do not lie.
He looks at you intently. It's around this time that the Rixasha's illusion pings and several people come in and drag it away. It does not resist, thoroughly defeated. We do not allow people into the academy without knowing their true name. I ask again, what is your true name?
Tarask.
The man breaks the telepathic connection, and he bangs his little Wayang hand on a door. And the door, it doesn't open like you would expect it to open like this. It opens like, it almost like, as if you'd hit it with like a cheese grater, but you see it's a like wall of force is dissipating just a little. He moves in. He's gone for perhaps 5 minutes before returning. The as he comes to the door, it like opens so he can move through the wall of force before the wall of force shuts again. And he.
What did he ask? Speaking to Taras. Oh. He seemed rather strange when he left. Did you tell him your name?
Of course. It'd be rude not to.
He returns. The happens. He moves out. And this is a strange circumstance. You have not told me your true name, mage. But you represent the Kumijinja Monastery. Your need is great.
What?
You will be allowed to enter the school, but we are watching you.
There's
Looking to the guy. What do you mean by true name?
The name you are given when you are born. We all have it. It connects you to the world of the ethereal.
there's a soft sigh from Tarask before eventually says, I was an orphan abandoned at the monastery. I never knew those who birthed me.
Nevertheless, usually when you are born, someone presides over this.
Well, I'm sorry, but I am honest with you when I say that Tarask is the only name I have known myself to be called.
He nods. You have permission to enter the school. The door illusion wall of force opens up in such a way that Hero can fit in, and you guys are free to enter.
Thank you.
As you do so, I don't have art for it necessarily, but imagine, if you will, all the wizards and kineticists and sorcerers all got together, and this is where they practice. Go ahead.
Hold on, before we actually enter. This is a school of water, correct?
It's a school of all the schools.
All of the elements.
Oh, okay. We're going to see the water person. Would that particular place where we would be meeting her be uncomfortable for being a fire, indicating the phoenix?
No. We are not so
No,
isolated.
I understand. It's just I don't know very much about the magical arts.
Of course.
So
as you guys enter, there are several individuals sit meditating, and as they do so, they lift, and so do several about the size of 4 or 5 of their whole body rocks lift up as well. You turn the corner, like making your way through. You are provided with another Wayang appears as a guide and leads you in the direction you need to go. You pass several individuals who snap their fingers in the direction of about like 3 foot in diameter and about 6 foot tall, like wooden blocks, and just snap finger. It explodes in a burst of flame. There are several hobgoblins here as well. They look a little less feral than the ones that you've been fighting. That they do the same with blocks of metal, but like when they like snap, punch, and then from that punch, as if to like knock it out of a little cardboard cutout kind of thing, like just bam, a katana falls out the other end, perfectly made. Several people float around. The whole place pings, like you almost like Andrew has to shut off detect magic. That's how, like, otherwise you will be overwhelmed by the amount of everything hitting you at once. And eventually you guys are led to a very reserved, quiet, looks like a door. It opens for you, and you guys can see, it looks like outside. It looks like the streets of Ramparasad, except remove the buildings and replace them with waterfall upon waterfall upon waterfall upon waterfall. Sitting in said waterfall, the one closest to you guys is... She looks young, but age is awkward when you're incredibly magical. Her blue skin and light hair indicates her very, very clearly as a Samsarin. The door shuts behind you. She doesn't say a word. You hear mantras in... Does anyone speak Samsarin?
which would what would be the equivalent?
Samsarin. It's a racial language.
Oh no, I don't.
Okay. She mumbles... Well, not mumbles, excuse me. She repeats mantras under her breath in her native tongue. As she does so, the water moves to support her needs. The water goes up under her and picks her up to move her a little.
I would step forward a few steps, but keeping distance between us, and kneel.
I would bow.
Actually, I would kneel to a point and putting my weapon on the floor in front of me.
You call yourself Ardra and Tarask and Hero.
Yes, ma'am.
And you do not have a name, for you are too young. You should not have been removed from your parents, young one. The phoenix, which has followed you this whole time, coos and looks it perceives above it as a sky, though you definitely were in a building, and now you're in an outside place. You need not be so formal in our house, Elfling. Rat child. Your reputation precedes you. We have eyes everywhere. An entire army of hobgoblin tieflings and are deafened, routed by the three of you.
4. Our friend Hero was still with us, but Hiei was still with us, but unfortunately, well, then I imagine you know why we are here.
I do. Stories of the 3 warriors from the monastery have reached our sight. She moves forward and reaches out to you. As she does so, the water, she doesn't move forward so much as she, floats, almost like to walk on water without moving. It's a little unnerving. It's forward up to both of you. She puts a hand on Onru, puts a hand on Tarask, and just closes her eyes and just, yes, you are very sick. We are willing to help you, but we lack the reagents necessary. And this is the part where you guys are going to be mad, but it's still going to happen. In exchange for our help, north of the city, in the CQ rainforest, near an old, ancient ruin of a long-lost religion, there grows... You would know it as a moss, but the moss would react very strangely. I tried to point it out as many times as I could!
Facepalm.
Reacts to color, reacts to touch. It's what's known as...
She does that in character, literally.
It's what's known as dream lichen. Bring me this, and we will see about your cure.
When we went into talking to Tarask, when we went into the rainforest, we said we're going to be gathering materials, and we gathered materials most of the way. Why did we not gather the glowing stuff?
At that point, I think we were both more concerned with not dying.
She hears this conversation, sees this facepalm, says nothing, and remains just absolutely serene. Time is short. I feel the presence upon you. Both of you look as if you haven't eaten in weeks. Return to the rainforest.
Yes, this happened overnight.
Return to the rainforest. Bring me what we seek, and we will send you back to Minkai, ready to defend the world from further terror.
Oh,
Yes.
do you know where we would find any rumors of phoenixes? Because this one was actually chained into a contraption in the forest that was harming it and then allowing it to heal and then harming it again. And I do not know exactly what it was doing. I believe we thought it was trying to power something, but we're trying to return this one to its parentage.
Her eyes, which are just solid white, for a second you're pretty sure they rolled back in her head as if to concentrate, and then she comes back into focus. And I'm told you brought us a Mirai Rixasha. I imagine the cruel devil sought only to torture one so pure, knowing it would come back when it died. And the cycle of pain and healing and pain and healing. They exist only to corrupt, only to be not what we desire here. As for its parents, I imagine phoenix eggs can be found in this part of the world. Phoenixes are known to live in the mountains nearby. Perhaps this creature stole an egg. Perhaps its parents met with an unfortunate end. In any case, she reaches her hand out and says something in, she says it... Actually, you know what would be fun? It's around this time that Onru realizes she's been hearing Ardra speak in Undercommon, and Tarask realizes he's been hearing Tien. Reaches up her hand and in Celestial, or True Speech, just Come here, my child. The phoenix happily just over, and it doesn't land on her arm as if to like falconry, but lands really, really close and like starts like hovering around. She reaches her hands up to its temples and just, it is safe now. This creature will stay with us. We will raise it as one of our own, and frankly, when it's stronger than most of us are, we'll send it on its way. Now.
Internal.
Aww.
Much appreciated. We actually I did not actually want to take it back into the jungle.
On that note, if you guys would like to go explore more of the CQ rainforest, we can definitely do so. The map still exists. Otherwise, I see no reason not to fast forward like a day to grab back here. Would you like to explore the map more? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so in that case, at some point Good.
We can go back to the rainforest later. I'd like to not die now.
Noted. Okay, in that case, you guys would have to camp at some point, and it's in the rest. It's been a while. I haven't had a chance to hand out the level 4 boon yet, because it's been a very busy with the Halloween one-shot and stuff, a couple of weeks. Now will be the time. In your dreams, you guys see... The images are very blurry. There's a lot of... It's almost like in black and white, and both of you, and you'll realize when you wake up that you definitely had the exact same dream. Bits and pieces of a tiny village burning. The chaos of war. Dead bodies everywhere on both sides. Innocent villagers caught by surprise by a marauding enemy, only to be saved at the last second by people who you recognize as you, as well as others, with the head wrap of the Kumijinja Monastery. Several run in, and in several punches kill just scores and scores of, you can't quite get a picture, but some kind of bad something. A hail of arrows flies in your direction, only to be stopped as a particularly large individual holds out its hand, and the wind turns and fires in the direction of the arrows to scatter them like leaves on the wind. Both of you awaken. As you awaken, you realize that every, fourth or fifth word, not that you say, but that you think, is heard in the mind of the other. Basic emotions, almost like not quite a full empathic link, but like the beginnings of one registers with both of you. In a mechanical sense, this allows you to not necessarily detect each other, but you are able to almost see through each other's eyes, almost understand the notion of how you live, how you fight. For the level 4 boon, Anru may treat herself as if she had the swarming racial trait, assuming Tarask didn't choose an alternate racial trait and replace it.
Let me check real quick. No, I don't see anything that would indicate I changed it.
Then in that case, Anru has swarming as if she were a rat folk. Tarask can see through Anru's deeper darkness, as if it were like regular darkness.
Oh, sweet.
Yes!
See in darkness ability.
Not the see in darkness ability. Well, kind of. The see in darkness ability, but only for Anru's. Other magical darkness will still beat him.
That works.
Good, fair. Okay, so you guys return back to the monastery. There's a lot of, you run through, there's, actually, you meet, as you go through the rainforest, a couple of Kappa who have joined with a couple of Gripply, and they don't say anything, but they bow super reverently. Peace has been restored to this part of the world, thanks to you guys. You return to that temple, which also there's a lot of ground there that could still be explored. You harvest the dream lichen. You return back to the academy, back to the temple of water, not the water temple. This isn't going to be that difficult, but you understand. Ardra takes the dream lichen from you, and as she takes it, it turns like a pure, the brightest silver you've ever seen in your life as she picks it up, and it's almost beautiful to watch. And she calls up a pillar of water that connects with it, and ice to form like a mortar and pestle, and quickly she breaks it down into its base elements, and she makes a couple of potions, hands one to you, you, Anru, one to Tarask, and then drinks the remainder of the bowl. And when we sleep tonight, we will dream. And when we dream, this is where we will solve all of your problems. She, without saying another word, she turns and disappears into the water of the waterfall as if to become water. And up she goes.
When we're done with this, you want to go back and loot that temple?
Yep.
I thought so.
Is there anything you guys would like to do before you go sleepy time?
No.
I would like to figure out how the Phoenix is doing, as well as how our other friend is doing.
Okay.
Well, other friend, quote unquote.
You spend a little bit of time. You don't find the Rixasha, you find the Rixasha's head, which has been put on a pike.
Whoa!
It hangs in. There are several, mostly hobgoblins, but there's other races native to the region as well. But hobgoblins seem to dominate the school of metal, and as the powerful warriors that they are, it makes sense for them to have done so. The pike appears to be like as if one were to take just like a block of adamantine and will it to become a pike. There's no signs of anything connecting, no nothing. As for the Phoenix at this point has like free reign of the academy and just kind of flies around lazily and happily.
So when we see the head on the pike, the nearest person to it, I would lean over and say, "So that's what I'm supposed to do when I see another one, right?"
Okay, the nearest to you is a male hobgoblin. Just yes.
Okay, good, because I have conscience problems, as in I was not raised like the rest of the people, and I'm not quite sure on what I'm supposed to be doing all the time. So.
Good. I'm glad you could figure that out for yourself, says the hobgoblin, like, very curtly. And then as he does so, he goes, he's in the, like, it almost looks like a blacksmith's forge, but there's no fire. He just, like, there is a block, and then he, like, punches this block, and it turns into just the finest crafted katana either of you have ever seen, just from nothing. Just it appears below the block, and there's a katana-shaped hole where once it was, and he says no more. The rest of the day passes. You guys pass into
Such nice weaponry.
You guys pass into your sleepy time. You guys definitely recognize this place. We gotta get rid of the Phoenix. The Phoenix is gone now. Goodbye, Phoenix. Doing a scroll. Unless you want a pet Phoenix, I won't stop you, but if it dies. You guys come to as you awaken, and you recognize the fevered dream from your time in Oriana's hut. It's the same idea, except this time Ardra is with you. In addition, so too is another one of these deranged creatures of chaos. It's giant I shouldn't call it creatures of chaos. It looks like chaos because it's a giant walking stick monster. It kicks around, and she looks at Anru, looks at Tarask as you guys just kind of pop into existence, and just, why is this here? You create the world with your mind. What have you done? How do you expect to be healed by a vision of this?
We don't. This entity's attacked us before in the physical realm. We killed it there.
It has no place here unless you will it so. This is your dream. This is your mindscape. I simply exist because I consumed the potion made from the dream lichen. And as this conversation goes on, it's just out of nowhere, just like the two of you. It sits in a small, for its size, it's almost like a stool, but it possesses a vague capability to rock back and forth. The man's ears are pointed, as if to indicate a vague amount of elven ancestry. This may also be why his skin is considerably lighter than a lot of people in this part of the world. He rocks back and forward, looking in the direction of the three of you, just One of his eyes almost like lolls out of his head, almost as if like to be in a waking fever dream. Most of his teeth are missing. He looks like he weighs, though he is about like 6 feet. He looks more emaciated than you guys do. His hair is really stringy, and there's almost no precedent for it to be supported on his head. Ardra looks in your direction. Just both of you, don't look at him.
So I have a question.
Okay.
If this is supposed to be our dreamscape and these things should not be here, can I attack and kill them?
Don't. You can't attack him. He's a legend or something. No, that is the wrong term. Something more.
Evil?
No. What happened to you? Tell me now. Why are you as sick as you are?
Our friend, on the graduation day, our friend had disappeared and we went out to find her. We determined that she had been fighting hobgoblins that invaded the local area. After managing to fight off a few, we were eventually captured by them. And they poisoned us before we managed to escape, I say, kind of looking to Enru.
I don't really think it was us escaping, more along the lines of the wind lady saved us. You know, the one in the hut.
Yes, what was her name? Forgive me, I don't remember her name out of character because I'm a terrible person.
I will say that Greenwich Colonies, which is our Pathfinder Gestalt playtest game, if y'all want to check that out, is the first campaign in my entire career where I'm writing down the names of NPCs because I'm the exact same way. But anyway, her name is Oriana.
Yes, Oriana.
It's Oriana.
It's around this time that the Wyang appears. I should have made a token for him. I forgot how important he is to this part. The Wyang appears yet again and just, Madam Ardra, I apologize. I should not have let them in. Some days my heads are in the clouds, and they're from the monastery in Minkai. My reputation precedes them, and sometimes he looks just straight eye to eye with Turusk. Some things slip by. Ardra turns in his direction. What are you saying? They seem harmless. How could you make such a careless error? And as he kind of just like disappears into the background as Oriana appears in the dream as well. Great teacher, she bows.
Oh, hello, Oriana. I say.
She looks at Ardra. Ardra looks at Oriana. She doesn't recognize you two. Well, excuse me. She doesn't acknowledge you two. And just... You're the healer from the Forest of Spirits. Yes. I have been known as that before. Please, put aside your anger. Heal these two of what's gone on with them for the good of everything. She speaks a quick incantation, Oriana, and the vision ends. You guys arrive wherever it is that you slept, and it's not long before Ardra, out of nowhere, just appears next to both of you.
What the bloody hells?
Calm down. Both of you, right now. What is your true name?
I don't know my true name, apparently.
Her eyes go just huge at that.
Tarask is the name I have always known. I was abandoned as an orphan at the monastery.
And you, Dark Elf. What is your name? Your true name?
I would give her my first and last name with the original house. I can't remember which house I chose.
Fair. She also, like, you say it, the words hit her, and she just... I can't... No. Now, listen to me closely. Both of you are in very real danger. I thought that Rixasha said... I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just bargaining for a way out, but... Do either of you know what a wildling is?
No.
That's what he called us.
It's a word used more... You expect to hear it from the Fae, but... Rixasha are strange creatures. A wilding is a word for someone who does not have a true name. The ritual is never wrong. We would have healed you here, but it goes deeper. You are not poisoned. The pair of you... She puts her hand to her face, and the air around all of you drops like in temperature by like 50 degrees as it gets really, really, really cold and just... Okay. It appears Shamsuk was right about the prophecy. A true name is vital for a humanoid's survival. It merges the self, your corporeal, physical forms, with the spirit, with the essence of what makes you you, with a soul. Without that, the pair of you are trapped on the material plane. When you die, you cannot be released, for a soul was never pulled from the wheel. And she makes a quick Kijan holy symbol, as I'm sure you understand, young one.
Right on.
Yes. This division makes you physically weak, as I'm sure you both have noticed. Invulnerable to some magic, but fragile as a dry leaf to others. I could name you if you were younger. The ritual takes place, and you both would know this, the ritual takes place at birth. It's just breathlessly easy to do for a child. But for one as old as the pair of you, it's complicated.
Well, considering how much my particular family cared for me, it's not really surprising that they did not give this to me.
It's far from here, but a powerful, more powerful than myself, student, as well we all are, of the School of Wind. Kuratama would have sent you to him if he was able. The ignorant fool. His name, Kradog. He's left the school, as many have in recent days. He's gone to the Wandering Isles. I can do nothing more for you, but of course the school is open.
So are we just to continue dying at this rate?
You must go to the Wandering Isles of Minata. You must find Kradog. You must ask him for his help. Without this, yes, you will... It won't be pleasant. And you must go quickly, silently, and tell no one. Just as your physical form is compelled to seek out your spirit, so too is your spirit compelled to seek you.
Wait.
Wait. Very dangerous, yes?
The entity that's been following us, I say, looking over to Anru. The one that claims that it is one with us. It's never told us its name. It comes at inopportune times, and I'll kind of describe it better, you know. Is that related to this whole mess?
It has not told you its name, because it has none. She gets real quiet. In addition to it seeking you out, these creatures that have beset you will also seek you. Imagine, if you will, and she picks up a vase, and she concentrates. There's a vague, like, snap of fingers and moving motion as water is conjured from nowhere and fills the vase. And then she dumps it on the floor. This puddle represents your spirit. This is you. As empty as it is, it may be filled with many things, and these creatures, you may not know what they are. Forgive me. Older than time, older than the abyss, they are known as Klippeth. They seek you. They will continue to seek you. They are more powerful than the simple scouts.
One last thing, if you would.
Shows up.
Going through my bag, I would pull out the I forget what you called Kiyome's weapon,
A Tetsubo.
but I would pull it a Tetsubo. We have a friend that has been released from this mortal coil prematurely. I would like to see if you or anyone here might have the ability to bring her back.
Okay. She picks up the Tetsubo, which the master had well, no, she hadn't. We retconned that it wasn't. She concentrates on it and just, yes. This was wielded by one as young as you. One who is not as skilled in the art, but skilled in anger. Releasing this anger.
Tarask involuntarily shrugs, or kind of like shivers.
A fair reaction.
Oh yes, we are going to be the target of that anger if she ever finds out how we found out she'd left.
The spirit of the dragon. Perhaps the blood. It's not uncommon.
Her father did seem to have some sort of special bloodline to him.
I imagine.
Oh.
In any case,
I wouldn't doubt him being a full dragon.
In any case, do what you can. I will do what I can. Depart as soon as you are able. Tell no one. Go quickly. And return to us. And that is where we're going to cut this session. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. It feels good to get back to the lore and get stuff moving. I've named the game in the Dragon Empires a 5-minute tour. Aiden Chronicles the First Mage is one of my very favorites. And that's what we're playing here, and this is one of my favorite parts of the story. And I'm super stoked. I love converting things to Pathfinder. And I love bringing it to you guys, but for now, if you're watching on Twitch, remember, we're going to roll through till 9. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more awesome content. Gentlemen, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.